All right. In this section, we're going to deal with what? We're now going to deal with square roots. Square roots. And after square roots, we'll deal with cube roots. Now, what are square roots? Probably you've seen this particular sign on your calculator. Square root. What does it mean? The square root simply means that which number multiplied itself twice and gave us the number which is under this root. For instance, if we've got square root of 4, square root of 4 is asking for us to end up having number 4. Which number multiplied itself twice in order for us to get this 4? So the number that multiplied itself to give us 4, it was 2 multiplied by 2. That's what square roots are asking. Or is it only positive 2 that can give us number positive 4? The answer is no. What other number can give us a positive 4? Remember, when you say negative 2 multiplied by another negative 2, a negative and a negative produces a positive. So, if you are given square root of 4 like this, either square root of 4, you got it as a result of what? As a result of saying 2 multiplied by 2, or as a result of saying negative 2 multiplied by negative 2. So, the square root of 4 is equal to positive 2 or negative 2. That's what it means. We are simply doing the reverse. When we're squaring, remember, we said if we've got 3 squared, what does it mean? It means 3 multiplied by 3. And 3 multiplied by 3, it gives you what? 9. So if they now ask square root of 9, they are asking which number multiplied itself and gave us this 9. So the number that multiplied itself is equal to what? To 3. Or square root of 9, the number that multiplied itself and gave us this 9 was negative 3. That's what we are dealing with when we are dealing with square roots. When we are dealing with square roots, we are dealing with the opposite of squares. The opposite of squares. We are reversing what was done by the squares. That's what we are reversing. So another way that we can write this, if you are given square root of what? Square root of 1 over 4. So let's say you've been given a fraction and they say that what is the square root of 4? This can also be written like this. Square root of the numerator, which is 1, so it's square root of 1 all over square root of our denominator, which is 4. We say square root of 4. Now, what is square root of 1? Square root of 1 is equals to what? It is equals to 1 over. What is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is equal to 2. So the square root of a quarter is equals to 1 over 2. And if we want to verify whether the answer that we got is correct, what do? We use squares to verify. If we come here and we say 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 over 2. Numerator multiplied by numerator, denominator multiplied by denominator. 1 multiplied by 1 is equal to 1 all over 2 multiplied by 2, which is equals to 4. Right? Which is what was here. So that is the work of what? Of squares, square roots. Now, let's go to cube roots. Cube roots. When we want to talk about cube roots, we have to first speak about what? Cubes. Because cube roots are the opposite of cubes. We said cubes means what? Anything to the power of 3. So if we have got 3 to the power 3, or we have got negative 3 to the power 3. When we write it as in expanded notation, we say 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. which is equal to 3 by 3, 9. 9 by 3, 27. And here we have got negative 3 multiplied by negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. A negative and a negative gives us a positive. So 3 by 3 is positive 9. Positive 9 multiplied by negative 3. Positive and negative, it's a negative. So our sign is negative 9 by 3, 27. We've got negative 27. Now, they say, what is the cube root? Cube root of what? Cube root of 27. So we want an identical number that multiplied itself and gave us 27. When we go to the calculator and we press the calculator, what does it say? We simply come here and we now press shift. Then we've got the cube root of 27. It gives us what? 3. Of which if you check here, that's what we used, 3. So cube root of 27 is equal to 3. Now, when you are dealing with cube roots, you only have got one answer, which is 3. We can't say negative 3. Why? Because if we now say negative 3, this is what we are exploring here. Negative 3 and positive 3, right? So if we come here, we are having a negative. So if we say cube root of negative 27, we are looking for the number that multiplied itself and gave us negative 27. If we go to the calculator, we say cube root of what? Negative 27. What does it give us? It gives us negative 3. And as you saw earlier on when we were cubing, it was negative 3. Right? So this is the work of what? Cube roots. If they give you a fraction, then they say cube root of what? Cube root of 8 over 64. Cube root of 8 over 64. What does it mean? It simply means that they are looking for the cube root of the numerator, which is 8, all over the cube root of the denominator, which is 64. Which number multiplied itself 3 times and gave us 8? That's what it means. So if we come here and we press our cube root, and then we say 8, what do we get? We get 2. So cube root of 8 is equals to 2 all over. If we say cube root of 64, what do we get? Cube root of 64 is equals to 4. So we've got 2 over 4, and we can simplify this by dividing by what? By a common factor of 2 and 2. 2 into 2, it gives us what? 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1 over 4 divided by 2, which is equals to 2. So our final answer in simplified form, would be a 1 over 2. All right. So this is the work of square and cube roots, right? Let's just do a last one. What if they said cube root of what? Cube root of negative 8 over 64. It would mean that we've got a cube root of what? Cube root of negative 8 all over cube root of 64. And if we go ahead and we say cube root of negative 8, what do we get? We get a negative 2. So I've got a negative 2 here all over. If we come here and we say cube root of 64, we still get our 4. So we've got negative 2 over 4. And of course, you divide by 2, then you'll get a negative 1 over 2. That would be the simplified version. So, yes, this is the work of squares and cube roots. On the next video, we are going to be talking about the impact, or when you are given the exponent of 0, when they say to the power of 0. That's what we're going to explore on the next video. And then after that, we will be exploring the laws of exponents. So please do join us on the next video. Thank you.